Hey, welcome back to the studio. So we're going to talk about some 3D effects and some perspective today. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We're going to draw the inside of a room, and I'll show you what I mean by that. We're going to do this kind of real quick thing. So in the center of our paper, we're going to put a dot like that, okay? That's going to be our vanishing point. That means where everything seems to disappear. We're looking down long, straight tracks, long, straight road, something along those lines, okay? So then we're going to draw this rectangle around that dot. Now, if you have a straight edge, you could use a ruler to draw some lines. I'm going to draw some guidelines with my pencil, kind of like this. And we're going to use these as our reference. So we're going to continue those out. I've done that here. Now, I'm going to draw straight lines like this. This is going to be looking into our room. Now you see we have these guidelines. Those are going to be erased at some point. And this is just kind of a quick look at how to make something 3D. Now, a lot of times I would go all the way out to the end of the paper with this, but for the sake of this, we're just going to do it like this. Now, let's say we're looking into a room. Again, here's my vanishing point in the center. So okay, we're going to have some wooden floorboards. I'm putting in the guidelines now. Then I can ink those in. So then we have the floor. Now, if I were going to make these random sections, I could do lines like this, and these lines would be straight across parallel to the bottom. I've seen kids do them at all weird angles, and it's not good. Okay, so then do something like this. Nails in the floor. Okay, I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can check this out. Now, let's take a look at the side walls. What if we were going to put a window in here? Using our guidelines from our vanishing point, these lines would be parallel to the sides. And we would have a window that looks something like this. And we could dress that up a little bit, put a little trim on there, put some curtains on. There's my window. Okay. Then we could have a door. If we put a door in the back, now the door would be about the same height as the window. And these lines would be straight up and down because we're not looking at it from an angle. We are looking at it straight on. So there's our door. Our little door in our cartoon room. Okay. We can add some other details into that. Now, here's what it would look like if it were done a little bit differently. Here's my room, my vanishing point. Relocate that a little bit so it's in the center. Now, let's do those lines again. Here's the floor that we had before. I used a vanishing point. What if I didn't? A lot of kids will do this. Put their boards in like that. the heck's going on there? That's not right. Or if we did it like this, if we did those using the vanishing point, but then when we put these lines in here where the boards go, what if we had, this is what happens a lot of times, kids do this kind of stuff. It's funny. What happens is then your floor looks like it's all crooked and stuff like that. So that's one way that we can have kind of fun with perspective. Okay, make it look like this, like you're looking into a room. Now another way to do this, here's your vanishing point, to have kind of fun with this and learn how to do this, would be to have, just put some squares. I'm not going to use this for that. I'm going to use this. Put some squares randomly around here. Remember, I've got our vanishing point here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually grab a straight edge and I'll show you what I mean by this, how it looks. So now, let's use this as our guidelines from our vanishing point. I'm going to go to, these would be guidelines, remember, these would be erased. Let's see what happens here. So there's our, using our vanishing point. Now, I'm going to draw a line parallel to this line. That's going to determine how big our cube is going to be. Parallel, remember? Parallel. I'm going to do one along here, parallel to that line. Now we darken these in. I'll use this for the vanishing point and for our guidelines, because I want to show you how it looks when you erase these. So guidelines, do them nice and light. Okay, then you decide how big do I want my cube to be. We'll make this one smaller. This line is parallel to the bottom. Okay, now let's darken these in. Again, you use your straight edge if you want to. I may even do a lesson on using straight edge because kids seem to have trouble with that. Now here's my guidelines. Here's how it looks. Then of course, if you wanted to really add depth to this. Now this is now a cube, but what if we wanted to create, let's do it with this one here. What if we wanted to create a box where we were looking into an open box? Watch this, this is cool. This is very cool. Now, straighten these out a little bit because I freehanded them. Now we're going to move our lines back here to make our 3D object. Look at this, this is cool, but wait, there's more. Watch this. Now, still using my vanishing point. Put one inside there. Now see this line right here. This is going to be the back of that box. So I'll do this in pencil so you can see it. Parallel to this line here, that would be the back of that. So we could just see a little. So I'm going to draw this in, and that touches that. Then right here, this would come down to meet that. And I'll show you exactly what I mean in a second. We'll darken these in. Now we're looking inside the box. Erase our guidelines. And this is what we have.